Welcome back to Off Guard. I'm your host, Austin Rivers, along with my co-host, Pausha Haghighi. We are back, fresh off the NBA Cup. Knicks are the champions of the NBA Cup. Again, success story. If you want to dive right into that, or what do we got on the menu today?
Okay, obviously we have
and
to.
And you couldn't wait to just wear a sweater. It's like 70 degrees out here in Orlando, but just there's a little gust of wind. That's all Pausha Haghighi needs to put on a thermal.
Okay, for everyone listening that's not in Orlando, it's cold 1 month a year. It's just I don't feel like it's the Christmas spirit when I'm walking around in like a Lululemon t-shirt and shorts. Like I gotta get this is cozy. It's nice. Now the second I step outside,
I like the color.
I will sweat.
I don't like the brand.
Well, listen, this is an old sweater. I used to get Adidas for my friend, but
Nike's that's a nice looking sweater though.
I appreciate it. Listen, the NBA Cup. We all agree that the NBA is better when the Knicks are good, right? We love when the Garden's rocking the playoffs, Charlemagne still at courtside, all that stuff. So we can also agree that it's good that the Knicks won the NBA Cup, right? Like if it's good that they're winning, it's good for the basketball that the New York won that. Would it have been better if the Spurs won it, just like for the Wemby situation?
No, I mean Spurs won the cup in their own way when they beat the Thunder.
We see that a lot too, like a letdown, like that. That's like the final for them. Like remember when the Timberwolves beat the Nuggets a couple years ago in the playoffs? It's almost like they were celebrating like they won the title as the second round.
Yeah,
and there's a little letdown going forward.
Yeah, there was a lot to dissect from those games. OKC is a very, very good team. I still think. Well, it's not just me. This is kind of a no-brainer comment, but they're still favored to win. It's one thing to beat them one game. It's another to beat them 4 out of 7, and it's another to do it on the road. That was a neutral site. Right. You know what I mean? So it's an awkward game. With that being said, you got to give the Spurs credit. They played very well. They played even well versus the Knicks, man. Like a lot of their young guys. Harper was outstanding. Just multiple guys that could be shut out from the Spurs. With that being said, I think they went against a team that they had heard all week that they were going to be beaten by the Spurs. When the Spurs beat, the Thunder, everyone's like, "Oh man, the Spurs are going to win it all. No one can be stopped." Everybody was betting on the Spurs, etc. Wemby, that whole team. The Knicks are a multiple-year experienced playoff team. This is a team that goes to the playoffs every year for the past 3 or 4 years, and they kind of just went in there and won that. You know what I mean? They had multiple guys step up as well, guys that usually aren't the names that you hear. Obviously, the Brunsons and stuff like that, but it wasn't Mikal Bridges this time. It was Jordan Clarkson came off the bench and had a big game.
Tyler finishes the game.
Tyler finished the game. You know what I mean? So new faces in that regard for the Knicks. And then obviously you had Brunson and OG and Carl kind of really anchor at home. So that experience I think played a huge part. And yeah, they fair and square. You gotta give credit to the Knicks. They beat them. Is it good for the NBA? If the Spurs would have won versus the Knicks, I think the Spurs beating the Thunder was what was most impressive for everybody coming out of that. Still, even though the Knicks won the whole thing, I still think the most impressive thing from the Cup was the Thunder being beat by the Spurs. Just whatever. But the NBA Cup as a whole has been a huge success. I've seen a couple comments, making fun of the cup or it's stupid. It doesn't mean nothing. Yeah, listen, we know it doesn't mean big things in the grand scheme of the season, because obviously the goal of the season is get to the NBA playoffs and win an NBA championship. Yes, those are 1 and 2. We know that, though. That goes without saying. This is just a new wrinkle that Adam Silver put in the NBA to make things competitive and just add something exciting to the regular season. Otherwise, it's just a long 82-game season where, quite frankly, fans can just kind of choose to just get in it, get out of it, choose when they want to watch games. That's why last year, the year before, everybody was talking about the ratings and this, and that. We come out to a ginormous start. And NBC has really put the NBA back on the map again, along with Prime doing its thing. I say NBC mainly not just because we work for them and I work for them, but the amount of games we have, the nostalgia all the different things.
And you guys are innovative too, like having you on the bench reporting and things like that. Like sometimes if things are going bad or people are worried about the ratings and things like that, you do need to change. You do
absolutely,
just like Adam Silver needed to throw in the cup or the play-in or like the different things.
And it's all been successful.
And of course, maybe older players might not like it because it's different than when they played, right? And now they're making $500K if they win. That wasn't given to the older players, right? That opportunity. So I understand like them not liking it, but sometimes you have to change for the game to grow and remain on top. You know what I mean? And I think that's it's a fun new wrinkle.
Yeah, it's either evolve or get off the air.
Yeah.
But to say the NBA is boring to watch is comical. It's just not. I cover it for a living. I watch it every day. Basketball is basketball.
Right.
Like Oscar Robertson said that the other day. Everybody's talking about the game changing. Basketball is basketball. It changes. That's part of the era. Our era was different than the era before us. And then the 90s was different. And the 2000s are different. And now the whatever you want to call this era is different. It's what basketball in life, it's not sports, life evolves. So when I hear people say it's boring, it's like, no, your brain just hasn't evolved with it. So that means you're behind. So when you say basketball's boring now, I just know it's not true. I'm watching the most talented basketball players to ever play in the NBA. This is the most talented the NBA's ever been. It's not up for debate. I literally watched a 90s game the other day. I'm just sitting here. And no, I'm not making fun of the 90s because that's what the era was then. But I'm watching it like, dear God.
And I'm sure during the 90s, the guys from the 70s were like, what is that? Like, it's just, it's way too old.
These guys were open every possession for three. Their guy was guarding them 4 feet off of them because people didn't take a lot of those then.
Yeah.
Guys now shoot 3 feet behind the line because they're too good at shooting. Everyone shoots 40% from three. Guys are just too good. Right. So when they think, oh man, these guys don't play deep. No, it's just that the guys are very good, man.
If you see a guy get a wide open layup, it's because everything's stretched out. Yeah, and that's why it's easier to get into the paint.
You used to pack the paint back then because no one could shoot. You guys used to like heave the ball over your head. Bro, I sent a clip of the All-Star highlights. I think it was like 80, it was like 86, 87 All-Star game versus my dad. It'd blow your mind. Guys are like wide open shooting it like with their arms over their head, hoisting the ball, barely hitting the rim. It was not great. Again, though, that's where basketball was at that time. So it's not for me or anybody else to make fun of it or to disvalue it. It's just the evolution of the game changes. To say it's boring is stupid. To say the cup doesn't mean anything is dumb. What if they argue
about things like toughness or load management? That's when they have their like biggest arguments.
Brother, toughness, man. What the talking about?
Like guys used to play like in a neck brace or something.
No one played in a neck brace. and the game back then was played at a speed 1/5 the pace of what it is today. So there was no cutting and moving and the type of crossovers guys are doing, the stopping on we've gone over this, man. It's it's a lot more, okay? So it is what it is.
As far as the cup, if you're going to tell me it wasn't important, okay, in a wide open East, you don't think the Knicks winning that and kind of cementing themselves as by far the best team right now in the East, to me, is like that. You don't think that was worth something? And also for the Spurs, who have no playoff experience outside of Harrison Barnes and Luke Cornett, you don't think that was big to play meaningful games against the Thunder and the Knicks? Obviously, that was good for them. A little bit of a prep.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
Not to mention,
it did its job.
Not to mention, it just adds something new and exciting during a long season, man. It's just the bottom line. So first off, the coverage of it was great. Got to give Prime its respect. The neutral site in Vegas is something really, really cool.
Did you see they want to maybe do it in Cameron Indoor the finals?
Yeah. I think that's dope. You know, I don't.
Let's be honest. We'd watch. I don't know how to go, but we'd all watch. Right?
Like we'd be there. It's in my home. You know, what I mean, that's the college. That's alma mater. But listen, even the 500,000. You see how excited the back half of the Knicks bench. People don't understand, like, especially with the way this CBA and this new the way the NBA, the landscape of it is right now. I'm not being negative, but it is kind of up. There's no middle class in the NBA, so guys are either making like 50 million or they make 2 million, or some guys are, whatever.
I don't think Ty Lue that's like next man up, but this guy was making 60 million, the next man up's making like
it's ridiculous. It's the way the NBA works right now. It's kind of up in that regard. Yeah. With that being said, you have guys who 500,000 does a lot for. 500,000 does a lot for anybody, but especially the guys who don't make a lot. Like Carl said, he's giving it away to charity. That's because Carl makes $40 million a year, and he's been making it for like 7 years now. So he just has too much money. You know what I mean? Right. Someone like, Tyler, or pretty much the last 7-8 guys in that team. You can see that whole corner that the Knicks team are a bunch of guys that a lot of people don't even know. A lot of guys they called up. some two-way guys that got to travel with the team. That $500,000 goes a long way, a very long way, and it's a big deal, and it's another reason for guys just to compete. So the tournament is the cup, the Emirates Cup has been a huge success. People watched it. Guys were competing. Guys were celebrating when they won. No, do these guys think they won the championship? No, they know next week.
They're not hanging the banner.
They're not hanging the banner.
Yeah, do you think the NBA is pissed about that probably?
No, they shouldn't hang no cup banners. It's stupid. It's like when the Bucks won last year. It's the dumbest thing. People are like, let's hang the banner. It was like, for what? That regard, I agree. You should only be hanging banners if you're winning championships.
Or what about Eastern, like your conference title?
Yeah, that's fine if you want. Like Boston doesn't do that.
Back in the day, they did like the division title.
It depends what organization you are. I'm sure like the Magic would hang that.
They have.
There you go. Celtics aren't hanging a division title. It's not happening.
Not enough room up there.
They only hang they hang the real deal.
They have like 50 retired jerseys.
Lakers aren't hanging division titles and conference titles, bro. It's either you win a championship, you get a banner, or nothing's getting hung. That's just how it works for those places. The Bulls, places that got multiple banners, that's how it works. Now, Magic go to the conference finals. That banner will be up there proudly waving up in the air. You know what I mean?
Every time. 2005, yeah. 2009, and 1995.
So, there it is. But, again, the cup was a great deal. People need to lay off the negativity with it. Like, bro,
like $500K coming at you right before Christmas. Great timing. You're getting out. You're getting gifts. You're doing things.
It's a big deal for the back half of the bench. It's a lot of money. It's a new wrinkle. It adds excitement. It adds another flavor to the NBA season for guys to compete and win for something. And it's been successful the first 2 years. Last year was box office. This year's been box office. The year before was great. It's been fantastic. So, first few years, I think it's been 3 years, right?
Yeah. You know what last year did was it showed Thunder's one weakness was a guy like Giannis, but unfortunately, only the Bucks have Giannis. This is how you beat the Thunder. Remember in the Cup final, they struggled
with Wemby too.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, so that's like the kind of, but these are freak alien kind of guys.
Yeah. But
it's easier said than done.
Spurs are a team they could potentially run into down the line. You know what I mean?
Especially when Wemby's not on a minutes restriction.
I don't know if they're built to beat them right now in a playoff series, but they could damn sure make it competitive, push it to 6 or 7. I don't know. The Spurs have been very impressive as of late. Very impressed. Cup was great. Blah blah blah.
You know what? But I want to talk. I think what it really did for me was the East. We make fun of it all the time and how bad it is, but the Knicks now have to be. And I know the Pistons have the best record, and you cover a lot of their games, and they have maybe one of the, if not one of the best players in the conference with Cade. But the Knicks seem like just my shoe in right now to make the finals if it ended tomorrow.
I think that's the team that people have most confidence in.
Yeah.
Making the finals would be the Knicks. I think second would be you draw from the hat, whether it's the Pistons or Cavs.
The Cavs lost again last night to the Bulls.
And then right behind them would be Orlando.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But those are the 4 teams, I think, right now.
Not a Raptors believer.
No. The 4 teams for me out in front are New York, Cleveland, Detroit, Orlando. And I think those are the best 4 teams in the Eastern Conference. But I have the Knicks coming out of the East. I think it'd be disappointing if they didn't. Considering how watered down the Eastern Conference is, considering this is the best team the Knicks have had in the past God knows how many years, all right? You got your new coach. You got everything there. There's no reason for them not to come out of the East. So if they're all healthy and Brunson's out there healthy and Carl's out there healthy and OG and Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart, I mean, good gosh, bro.
You've criticized their bench over the last few years, but with Mitchell Robinson being the best offensive rebounder in the NBA and Tyler Kolek playing well.
And Clarkson.
Yeah, and Jordan Clarkson. Do you think they're all set on the bench now?
I think
Deuce McBride, obviously.
Yeah, and Deuce. They've improved. From last year to this year, they've improved. Now, are they a star-studded bench that's going to come in and save it? No, they don't have that. But they do have a much improved bench from last year, and they have guys who have stepped up. Tyler, Jordan Clarkson. Then, like you said, you got Mitchell back healthy. Had a big game in the Cup, actually. Their bench is much improved. So that with their just ridiculous starting lineup, that should be enough. Should be enough.
Right.
What are you talking about here? Listen, they better get it done now because next year Boston ain't gonna be no slouch. They're already
good. They're good now.
They're good now, creeping in, and they don't even have their best player playing. It's
Yeah.
like once you get Tatum back. By the way, it's not just Tatum. It's like when Tatum comes back, Like Boston.
Sam Hauser's open again.
Yeah, like it's just different.
Yeah.
And they're going to make guys available. They're going to find ways to add there's a player or two in the NBA right now who's not on the Celtics. They'll be there next year. It's going to happen. Tatum's going to be back. Brown's going to be back. Now they're the hot commodity again. All these free agents, they're going to stack this. It's going to happen again.
Them being good again this year, it just proves that they have a culture.
How
there.
good they are.
Yeah.
And by the way, next year it's going to be Jaylen Brown. It's going to be Jason Tatum. It's going to be Peyton Pritchard. It's going to be Derek White. Now they got this damn kid Walsh, freak athlete. Got to watch him up and close versus the Pistons last week. And
people are talking about him being an all-defensive player.
he does everything.
Yeah.
He does everything. He rebounds. He deflects. He picks up full court. He's like a Swiss Army knife. You put him out there and he'll have 10 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. You're just like, good God, high plus minus. He's got a motor on him. That's what happens when you have like a down year like this. And I say down year, even though the Celtics are playing very well and they will be in the playoffs, they're not winning a championship this year. So that's for them, considering how good they are, a down year. When you have a year like this where I call it a trial and error year, especially while you wait for Tatum to come back, you get to throw different players out there and try things and experiment. And what happens is, NBA, when you have that type of talent just lingering and you give opportunity with talent, opportunity meeting talent is a great mixture. And then you end up finding guys like him. His name's
Jordan Walsh.
Jordan Walsh. Like, that's a find. So now when Tatum comes back and you add a couple free agents this summer, Jordan's a key piece now in there. Or he's an asset to trade. All these guys that they're playing. Now, Jordan's not going anywhere. But I'm saying, like, that's a whole different dude now they have in there. So it's like they're just adding weapons to this team that will be in full force next year. I say all this to say, if you're a Knicks fan, it's got to be right now.
We didn't even mention, like, the Pacers are going to be back next year with a top pick.
With Halliburton and a top pick and Pascal and Nembhard and all those guys over there who's still there. Pacers are going to be back loaded next year, top team in the East. So are the Celtics. It's going to happen. Not to mention these young teams who are, like, getting better.
Hawks,
like,
Magic. They're all going to be a year older, yeah.
Are going to be a year older and much better. The Magic probably going to make a move with a couple of these guys. They'll be better. The Hawks will make a move with Trey. We'll see what happens with them. They're going to be much better. So, like, this window's closing. Not to mention, like, Brunson and Carl can't continue to play 38 minutes a night just like every season. And they just continue to mosey on along down the NBA. Like, your window's now. I'm not saying it's now or never, but it's going to be more complicated and competitive in the East in the foreseeable future. So when we talk about like a down year in the Eastern Conference where it's really up between 2-3 teams, like the Knicks got it, man. You're right there. The only teams you have to beat to go to the championship are the teams you've always beaten and never had trouble with. The teams that have been in your way, Boston, Indiana, aren't in your way this year.
Wait, hold on. So the last year, the Pistons could have beaten them in the first round. That was a really close series.
Could have.
A couple of calls didn't go their way. It was weird.
Yeah, but Brunson just put that cape on and just did it. He's the best.
And that was a crazy way he closed it. I do remember that.
Yeah.
The Pistons run into them, let's say, in the conference finals this year. Are the Knicks looking at them like little brother?
No.
Yeah.
They're looking at them like this is going to be a battle, and this can go either way.
Yeah.
Because between the two, I think Cade is the best player out of any team. I love Brunson. I know people are going to give me slack for that because Brunson is up there. I got Brunson up there.
On any given night, I would say. I don't know.
I like Cade. I think Cade's the best player. I think Cade's the best player in the Eastern Conference besides Giannis. I would take Cade.
Brunson, he is just...
No, he's unbelievable. You could say... By the way,
people just hate on him so much. So stop like watching him. People say.
By the way,
unwatchable.
I would put Brunson 3 right now in the Eastern Conference. If I had to go with a pecking order or who the best players in the Eastern Conference are right now, Giannis is 1 and always will be. And that's got nothing to do with my dad coaching the Bucks. I could give a shit. They're not even. That team's not even good anyway. I don't even watch them. So that has nothing to do with it. It's got to do with every 2-time MVP, and he led the second in scoring 3 years in a row, and he's first team damn near every year. And it's Giannis, guys.
Giannis is good at basketball.
Do I have to explain this anymore? Okay. So Giannis would be number 1. Number 2 for me is Cade. Number 3 is Jalen Brunson. Number 4 is Donovan Mitchell. Number 5 would probably be, I'd probably go, if we're going off last year, I'd go Paolo Banchero. This year's Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's been fantastic for the Bulls.
A lot of people would fight you on that Jalen Brunson Cade thing. That's probably the one right there.
I think a lot of people would fight me on even putting Donovan Mitchell ahead of Brown. I mean, probably Jaylen Brown has been incredible.
Yeah.
But Donovan Mitchell's just
and that's something when you were talking about the Celtics being good again next year, you're getting a different Jaylen Brown too. You know what I mean? Like he's been 1A all year. So next year when Tatum comes back, he's gonna be a monster. Like they're gonna be.
Well, then that conversation's gonna be.
So I've had that conversation for like 8 years.
It's gonna be right back because Brown, the way he's playing now, there's no way he can't not see himself as a 1A guy. He's playing out of his mind. He's like first team All NBA type playing, but his dude puts up 30 every game.
Right.
I just watched him. They lost, but he had 36 and he was efficient and just. But the shit he makes, I'm just like, good God, this guy's good. He's incredible. That's the 5, though. Now, if you want to replace one guy or if you want to move 3 to 2, 2 to 3, I don't care. If you want to put Brunson 2 and K3, congrats, guys. Move on with your day. I don't want to see you in my comments. What are you talking about? You hating on Brunson? I'm saying Brunson's a top 5 player in the East. I'm saying he's number 3. You could put him 2. I put him 3 for the fact that what Cade does defensively. I think Cade is a complete player.
Okay, so OG on offense now has taken huge steps.
OG's a much better. OG
right, but I feel like that's kind
of.
I mean, the NBA Cup brought it to light, but it's been going under the radar how good. Every time I watch him play,
his offense has taken a leap, and rightfully so. You make $200 million. I've been waiting on it. Okay. So I've been waiting on the check to match the production. He's always done it with effort and hustle and defense. He's always been good on that. The offense has been a roller coaster of inconsistency for a player making $200 million. Not for an average player, because he's better than an average player. His check says $200 million. That's what max players get. That's a max contract, guys.
Yeah.
All right? Max contract guys, look at their numbers. They're good all the time. That's what happens when you get paid max. So OG, for me, has been a guy who's always been of value of his contract. I'm not saying he's overpaid or anything like that. I've just never felt his offense has matched or what's needed from him for their team. Like last year, they'd have times where they struggle scoring versus the Pacers, like up and down. Like OG just like couldn't score. I'm like, bro, you get paid $200 million, fam. You got to put the ball in the basket. This year, he's taking that jump. He's doing it.
Well,
especially as of late.
You don't want to see a team just like completely relying on Brunson like they have in the past, right? Like they have too many good players.
He was making plays. He's making plays. He's scoring the ball, whether it's quick catch and shoot, straight line drives. But now he's posting up. He had a couple the other day where he came in there, pump fake and one. He's adding things to his game, or maybe just believing himself more. I don't want to act like he just got good now. He's always been good, but his offense has no doubt taken a leap. And I think now when you look at his contract, when he makes his every penny, because now you're getting the energy, the offensive, the rebounding, the all the extra plays, and now you're getting like 20 points with it. That's a big time.
You're also
player.
trying to figure out your role in a team where you have Jalen Brunson doing everything, Karl-Anthony Towns, who's obviously like a top level player in the NBA, Mikal Bridges, who on some nights is the third option instead of you. Like it's going to take a little bit of time. It seems like he's figured it out.
Yeah, I been very impressed with OG's game this year, especially as of late. He's been fantastic. So you got to tip your hat off to OG. He's having a big time year for the Knicks. Probably one of the reasons why they won that cup. Just adding that other level of scoring. I know Jalen Brunson is going to be box office. I know Karl-Anthony Towns is going to be box office. It's always a question of what are you going to get from Mikal or what are you going to get from OG. It seems like OG is stamped like I'm the third guy here. So then after that, you can take what you get with Mikal. You can take what you get with Josh and Jordan Clarkson, whoever else is playing. They have their group right now. They look solid. Again, this is the year if you're a Knicks fan. I think for them to compete and go get something done in the East that's a little bit up in the air. And,
I agree. 2 years ago, they lost in the second round. Last year, they lost in the conference finals. It's getting closer and closer.
Let's get it. It's now.
I want to ask you. So you have the Knicks right now as of today going to the finals. Do you think they lose to whoever they play that comes out of the West?
Not necessarily, man. I mean, because when you get a team in the finals, the way they are, it's so hard to say that because who the Knicks will be or who the Knicks have to be to get to the finals is a different team than what you're watching now. For them to get to the finals, you're going to have to get something consistently from Jordan. You're going to have to get something from Tyler and all these guys. This team is going to morph into something. It'd be like saying, do you think this team, UConn's going to lose to anybody? And then like Kemba Walker and them go on this run and the confidence is so high. They're a whole different tournament. They're a whole different team by the final in the championship game. That's not the same team that was in the Big East tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
Two different teams because of a confidence and mojo and rhythm. You know what I mean? Like that's a real thing. Who the Magic are in 3 months from now is probably going to be a lot better than the team we've been seeing lately.
That's a good point because last year when the Pacers went to the finals against the Thunder, everyone was like, okay, the Thunder is going to beat them. You're like, well, no, the Pacers don't think that. They just won all these series. They're riding an all-time high.
And
so
that series went 7.
Yeah.
And Halliburton tore his Achilles. Otherwise, that game goes either way. The way that game was going at that time, that first quarter, he already had like 9 points. He was cooking.
You're right.
So you can't say that, because who a team can become just by confidence, rhythm, success. Bro, a team getting all the way to the finals, at that point, you're like, yo, we're the best team in the league.
Right, if they match up against the Rockets. I'd say the Rockets go to the finals against the Knicks.
Yeah, Knicks going to be like, yo, we're better than you. We're here just like you are. We're in the finals. We're the best of the East. They don't think like, oh, whoever the man. They don't. Who the thinks like that? Especially with guys like Jalen. These guys think they're the best players in the NBA anyway.
What about if they played Denver in the finals?
They're going to think they could beat them. They're going to think they beat anybody. None of those teams are going to the finals. the Thunder is going to the finals, man. It's no one's beating the Thunder. And we can clip this, so in a couple months, when they get there, I'll know I'm right. Now, if they lose, we'll clip this even more so and make fun of me.
Is there anything? I mean, Jamal Murray has been.
Yeah, he's been playing his ass off.
Yeah, and
I'm hoping. Does he make his first All-Star game this year?
Yeah, he has to. This is it. I'm sick of. He has been the best player to ever make an All-Star game. We're done with that. You can make it. Have you seen his numbers? They're insane. No.
Yeah, he's got to make the All-Star game this year. Jamal Murray makes an All-Star game this year. What about my boy in the Eastern Conference? Their team's ass cheeks, but he's putting up numbers. What about my boy MPJ?
I think what he should be rooting for is a trade.
Let's talk about this real quick.
He's been very good.
MPJ is averaging 26 points per game, 7 rebounds, 3 assists.
Shooting 39% from 3, and all of those threes are contested.
He's shooting damn near 40% from 3.
With 2 hands in his face.
And he's shooting 50% from field goal. He's putting up great numbers, career numbers that people probably didn't believe he could put up on his own. And he's becoming a very, very requested trade asset. So, yeah, I don't think he's going to finish this season on the Nets. But you never know with Brooklyn.
Yeah. They'll hang on to you.
They'll hang on to you until you're worth nothing. They'll wait for his back.
They should have traded Cam Johnson during the year.
They'll wait for his back to get hurt, and they'll be like, all right, let's move you. They're like, what? So, yeah, the smart thing would be to move him now. His value would never be high.
I asked you this before on a pod, but what team would you least want to GM? Would it be the Nets, given their current situation? The Kings? You want to throw in the Wizards? Like, what team would be your, I don't want to touch this team, like hardest team to resurrect, if you will?
Hardest team to resurrect? I don't know. Because
this Brooklyn's been, you got New York, you got a big market.
Brooklyn's up there. It's tough. First off, you're like the little brother to a monster.
To the NBA Cup champions.
But even the NBA Cup, like just being a Knicks, you know what I mean? Like, Knicks are what New York is. You know what I mean? Like, you're a little brother to like a really big brother. You know what I mean? And again, I have a little bit of experience of it. I played for the Clippers in the same town as obviously the Lakers. And when you play and live in LA, like the Lakers are everything and the Clippers are just like nothing.
But when you were there, you guys were way better than the Lakers.
I was going to say the only caveat to that is I happened to be there during the peak prime era. The best era ever of the Clippers is when I played for them. Whereas on the contrary, Lakers were dog shit.
It was like Xavier Henry.
Bro, when I first got there, it was Kobe.
Kendall Marshall?
It was Kobe and like Larry Nance. I was out there. We were cooking, bro. You beat them by, bro. I remember I'd play and be like, I remember they brought back Meta. Remember when he was old? They brought him back again. Bro, I'm playing again. It's iconic. I'm going against Kobe. Like, I remember like we're up like 37, and I'm just looking at Kobe like, we're beating your ass right now. But he's just sitting there just like, this is like his last couple years in the league where he didn't really give a shit anyway. And their team is rebuilding. They're just holding on to him because that's what you do, Clippers. You hold on to Chris Paul, even though it's a bad season because everything he's done for your team.
We'll definitely dive into that.
Don't get any.
We are going to talk about that.
I thought it was over. It keeps getting messier.
I felt really. Should we do it?
Someone's got to get Ramona Shelbourne out of that damn facility. She has got her little clips all in. Get her out of there. Someone needs a blonde. I'm serious. It's too much. This is the first other thing's over with. He's already out of there. Everything's happening. 2 weeks later, I'm still finding out new details. Yesterday, I read a whole monologue of everything.
I've been wanting to ask you this. Okay. So I think the Wizards are in a tough situation. I think the Kings are in a tough situation.
Is that your team?
Wizards.
Kings are probably one.
In my lifetime, the Wizards have been good.
Once.
With Chris Webber, Juwan Howard, Ron Strickland, they lost to the Bulls in the first round. It was like a big deal.
Yeah.
3-0 sweep, but it was like a fun series. Then you draft John Wall, Bradley Beal. You have that. And you had one season we went to the second round. It was exciting. And that's it. In my 39 years of living, that's not great. At least the Nets, they were the New Jersey Nets, and they had some runs there. Jason Kidd went to the finals back-to-back times.
But that's not what we're asking about. We're not asking about history. We're asking about.
I'm just thinking, like, man, like
you asked me.
The Kings at least had this like Chris Webber thing, like.
But
the Wizards for me. You're
asking me which team is.
Can the Wizards
be
good? Can they be good?
I don't know how they can be. They're such a nice city. Like DC's awesome. It's like I don't get it. Some of these cities I don't understand. Like how no players ever get there. Don't get me started on Miami.
We've done that.
Yeah, the fact their free agency market and how they just don't get anybody just blows my mind. I don't understand the Miami thing for the life of me. What the are y'all doing? Why don't y'all have 7 stars there? I don't understand. Who doesn't want to live and play in Miami?
Is it the culture?
Of course.
Too demanding. It's too demanding.
Of course. You hear Norman Powell the other day, like Body Fat Friday. Nobody want to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
Now, Norman Powell is having a fantastic year, so you could argue whatever they're doing is probably
I feel
working.
Like he's done some interviews. He's like going to be an all-star, whether we like it or not.
He's doing a little press run right now.
He's doing a press run.
I think this is...
the other day he said he was better than a bunch of guys, and I was like, I really like Norman.
He's realizing the moment right now.
Yeah.
Well, that was true. They named all guys that he is better than. And then they're like, Kawhi. He goes, Kawhi's better than me. He's like, you guys are tripping. I'm not better than Kawhi Leonard. But they try to throw it in. They're like, Brad Beal. He's like Austin Reeves. He's like, they go, Kawhi Leonard. He goes, all right, yeah, Kawhi's better.
He also won a title with Kawhi when Kawhi put the team on his back.
He's like, just out of respect. That's why he's like, Kawhi's a Hall of Famer, man. Like, I'm not. Come on, bro. Me saying I'm better than him is silly. He's like, the guy's an all-star like 8 times. It's not. We're not doing that. Norman's definitely seizes the moment, understanding he's having a career year. Again, the East is wide open. There's a lot of guys that might be first-time all-stars in true retrospect. And then to circle back to the Clippers, it just, that's the way you do it. The way the Lakers did it. You play out Kobe, the same way they did with Chris. I'm just finding more and more information. Ramona, again, she's in the mix. They got to get her out of there. Someone's got to deny her access. She's spilling all the tea.
They did that to Tim McMahon in Dallas at one point too. They were just like, you're exposing too much.
Yeah, like, hey man, we're getting close to. You're not going to be around.
Revoking your privileges.
Yeah, you're not going to be around anymore.
So listen, I was excited, not excited. When I heard the Chris Paul stuff where he threw a Halloween party or had a suite and this and that and people didn't show up, I really was excited to go on the pod and talk to you about that because I've been around NBA teams where there were a lot of different outings and players did different things. We did a Halloween party one year, you did this, that. So I know you have a lot of obviously personal experience where teams did these kinds of things. And it seemed like Chris Paul saw that the Clippers, their leader, Kawhi Leonard, was like a quiet guy out of the mix, not doing these team bonding things. So he tried to bring everyone together and it just wasn't really working out. Every team you've been on does those things, right?
Yeah, it's a part of building chemistry. Championship teams do that. So, it's important to show face. Even if you don't want to go, it's inconvenient. First off, he invited y'all to like a private suite at a Rams game. Like, come on, guys. You guys could have went to that. But it sounds on par. They said Brad Beal and only a couple other guys showed up. Like, it sounds about right. Kawhi ain't showing up.
So that's a bigger picture, like the bigger problem over the last few years. There isn't that culture.
There's zero culture there. He tried to set it and force it in his last year, and they didn't want it, and they didn't accept it, and they got him out of there. It's bottom line. And then it just rubs people the wrong way with his success and history there as a Clipper. It is what it is. The writing's on the wall. So, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Every team you've been on does these kinds of parties.
Of course. And it's important to go.
Yeah.
Even when a guy has a charity event, he's giving away presents to the unfortunate at a Target or I pull up to that. You do, because it's supporting your teammates, supporting a cause. Whether it's a function, a team dinner, and you don't gotta go to all of them, but if Chris Paul's hosting something, you go. Guys, even if it's for a quarter or two and then you want to leave and go home, whatever. You don't got to stay the whole time. Just show face matters. Trust me, it mattered enough for them to remember it. Now, months and months later, that's a story. How's it a story? Because Chris brought it. Chris or someone in his camp told, ain't nobody show up to his event. Ain't nobody show up to my event. That shit rubs people the wrong way.
Generally makes me feel bad if you throw a party and no one goes. I don't like that.
Yeah, no, it looks.
That's why I don't celebrate my birthday.
It's Chris. It's Chris Paul. You know what I mean? It's like, what? No one showed up to Chris's thing? So it's just it's strange to me, but it doesn't surprise me. There isn't a culture there. The Clippers, you talk about a team that like you wouldn't want to. I don't know where they're going. The only reason I didn't name them, when you asked me a franchise, first off, I don't know if there is a franchise I wouldn't want to touch. If I would love to be a president of any team,
of course.
But if I had to choose a team that I feel like is farthest from like a reset, yeah, it's probably like Sac or some of these teams that might not have their picks. Phoenix, who traded all their picks away or something like that. I don't know. Even though they're decent right now, they don't have a lot of picks or future for foreseeable hope. You know what I mean? And when you look at the landscape of the NBA, the only reason I didn't put the Clippers on there is because their owner is just so willing. Steve will do anything to win and pay anybody to win. But culturally, they have, I don't know where they're at this point. I hate saying this because like I'm a beloved Clipper and
they're hosting the All-Star game this year.
Yeah, I got nothing but love for them, but it's like, yeah, I don't like the way they handled the Chris situation. I don't like the way they've handled multiple situations. To be quite honest, I don't like to handle my situation. I made that pretty clear. I don't know if that's a Lawrence Frank, Ty Lue. Neither of them have gotten enough blame, in my opinion. I think Ty Lue's always blaming somebody else. Brother, you haven't done shit since you weren't coaching LeBron. Like, it wasn't Ty Lue didn't get them over the hump, man. LeBron James got them over the hump. Draymond Green flailing and kicking someone in the nuts and being suspended got them over the hump. Ty Lue didn't win them a championship. No disrespect. Sorry. And I'm not saying Ty Lue's not a good coach because he is. But he gets zero blame for whatever reason. He's been there forever. They haven't done shit. Lawrence Frank has run the team how he wants, and it's gone to where it's gone. And I don't know, man. I'm a little salty. And again, I'm not the biggest Chris fan. You know what I mean? Like, I love Chris's game. I got respect for him. It's not like me and him are best friends. But I know what he's done for the franchise, and I just know what you do with a guy like that. Now, on the other end, if it's causing a lot, yeah, that's the way the business works, man. At some point, you got to be like, yo, you got to go. So some of this is like, Chris, you've been around long enough. You know better now. So you're in year 20. You're not playing a lot. And you're starting stuff. Like, come on, fam.
Starting stuff or like hosting parties no one went to? Like, I don't know.
That's what starts it for a guy like him. Then after that, it's malicious. Yeah. Because he's like, I'm not saying he's competitive like that, bro. Like you have a couple parties, you wanted this, they're not giving it to you. Now you're stirring the pot a little bit. Then they got tired of it and they're like, yo, get out of here. That's what I heard happen. That's what Ramon is reporting. That's what everyone's reporting. So it's not even enough for he say, she say. It's a matter of 7 people saying the same thing. It's unfortunate all around. And I think there was wrong in all. I think Chris probably was doing stuff he shouldn't have been doing. I know Chris. All right. I'll say that. Leave it at that. And obviously we know where the Clippers up. So I think everybody made mistakes.
I have a Chris Paul potential destination for you if you want to hear it out.
I would love to.
I think Minnesota needs exactly like Minnesota's just kind of out there as like a team in the West that no one talks about. I think they need that. I think their guards like Mike Conley, a little bit older, Dillingham and Bones Highland are running around now.
So you don't think Chris?
I think Chris Paul would be I think he'd be good there. No, I'm not saying he'd play a lot there, but like I don't know. I just feel like they're super talented. Conference Finals 2 years in a row. I think a guard like him would be good just for like half season loan.
Yeah. I mean, especially right now, we're already damn near halfway through. At this point, throw him in there because
But you've been in that locker room in Minnesota. Would they be able to take on a guy like Chris, like his leadership?
I wouldn't bring him in for Minnesota, no. So I'm trying to be respectful.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I wouldn't. Not with Ann and
no.
Not with.
They're better with a silent leader like Mike Conley.
Not with Finchy with Chris. It ain't gonna. I don't think he gets. I think he's done. Yeah, I think Chris is done. Because the way he is, and again, who he is has made him great. So I'm not saying like the way he is like it's a negative thing. It's just with where he's at in his career, it's too much weight for someone you're not going to play a lot. It's a lot. I'm no Chris Paul, guys. But even at the end of my career, I was known for being a polarizing locker room guy, someone who would voice his opinions, someone who would try to, if I saw something wrong, again, I'm a guy who grew up around the NBA. So I could go in a locker room like, this ain't right. I've seen what right is and this ain't it. For a guy who's vet minimum in year 11 or going into year 12, teams are like, we're good. We'd rather have our vet minimum just sit there and shut up, not say anything. It's baggage.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. I made a thing about this the other day. As soon as your talent starts to dwindle, if you got bad habits as a pro, you will get discarded of in the NBA. For guys right now who are doing the wrong things, acting an asshole, but you're putting up 20 a game or 15 a game and you're hooping, you better change your ways. Because in 5 or 6 years from now, when you're not, they will remove you. They're just going to remove you. You have to change your ways if you want to last. DeAndre Jordan is not the same guy or player as he was when he was with the Clippers. He's a lot more to deal with, personality-wise, and I love DJ. That's my boy. But if DJ acted, and you can ask DJ, he'd admit it. If DJ acted the same way he acted when he was like a, polarizing center in the NBA, a very good center, do you think he'd still be on the Nuggets? Do you think Jokic would put up that shit? No. But you know what DJ did? He evolved. He grew. It's what you have to do. Stars struggle the most with it because it's always been their way or the highway. It's like Iverson. He's like, I ain't coming off no bench. You're like in year 10, 12, fam. You got to come off the bench in Memphis. You're not out. You're not the answer anymore. It was hard for him. Remember, Melo laughed.
They labeled Melo for a couple of years. They really followed him.
And it took Melo forever to try to get back. And then he proved that he could do it. But he had to humble him. You have to go through that time period. Melo would be a great person to talk about this with. Hey, yo, P, you heard them? They said they're going to bring me off the bench. Like, bro, it's part of it. You have to do it. It's part of it. Remember, Chris came off the bench with the Warriors for a little bit. Didn't work. They got him out of there, bro. I'm just telling you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to know how to evolve and, go with the times, man. That father time is undefeated. Wade did it. Wade went with Bulls, Cleveland, back to Miami, played some, didn't play some. He was cool. Then he just gracefully retired. You got to do it that way. DJ's a guy who's like a more vet role. He's with Denver. Now he's in New Orleans doing a great job with Fears and Queen. He's just down there just doing the right thing, still getting an NBA check. He's not in there spazzing in the locker room, throwing shit. The DJ I knew, yelling at coach. And again, it's not a bad way, but when you're that star and you're playing a lot of minutes and things can, you just can't act the same way when you're not a star anymore. If you're not playing 30-something minutes, you have to change the way you act. Because then you're just baggage for no reason.
Yeah, it's like if you're not playing, how do you affect winning?
How do you affect winning?
People that are
DeMarcus
playing,
Cousins
being
was
there
the
for
same.
them.
DeMarcus Cousins with Denver was the same as it was with Sack. The problem is DeMarcus didn't exist anymore. So the NBA was like, we're good. Now, and again, DeMarcus Cousins is actually a great guy. He's a friend of mine. I with DeMarcus. It's just a little shit. It'll get you out the league. It got him out. We got me out. It's going to get Chris out. It's how it works. The NBA don't care. It's just a what have you done for me lately league. It's not even lately. It's what can you do for me in the future league. They don't even give a if you had 40 last week. They want to know what are you going to do next week. Well, his upside's not there. All he cares about is upside. So It's like Chris, it's like someone bringing him in to be the 12th guy or be a vet, but then he's in there telling now with this is the problem. Why the Clippers handle this so bad too that now no team wants him because people are like, I don't want that shit. We're good over here. So it's scary. It's a high school or it's a middle school, whatever you want to call it. That kid's got chicken pox. We don't want it. Do you know what I'm saying? You just get labeled something in the NBA, and then it's really hard to reverse it. So, I don't know. I like to get my experience from knowing people, and I've gotten to know a lot of these guys, so I know they're all good guys. It's just more from a competitive standpoint, whether you're able to fit into a team's chemistry or not, and whether they want to deal with your ways. I don't know if someone picks up Chris. Regardless, who gives a shit? He played 20 years in the NBA. He's arguably a top 5 point guard in the history of the game. Just seal it, stamp it. You made your money. You're involved in all types of shit. Chris, go run something. Not go be that same competitive way in coaching or front office. I'm sure he'll be able to maneuver in one of those ways. He's a politician. He's smart. He knows the game. He's highly competitive. He seems like a right guy that could probably run a team or be a coach. So that's, I think, for me, his next chapter. And I think as soon as he accepts that and just moves with that, be better for him.
Before we wrap, I kind of want to do this. Ask you a question, something personal for you that people always talk to me about when they talk about you.
No rapid fire? Nothing?
No, this is better.
Okay.
Myself included, everyone in the NBA is obsessed with, like you said, the potential, the next players. People want to see, that next that's why we love the draft and Cameron Boozer and AJ DeBance and all these guys, and they love seeing these guys. It kind of started with like LeBron's games being like televised in high school and things like that. So everyone's obsessed with, especially in this day and age, being like the number one player in the country. Not a lot of people could say that they were that. You were that. Yeah. Can we kind of talk about for a little bit, 5-10 minutes, what that was like in your life being the number one player in the country, but the way players on other teams went against you, the attention you got? Like, not a lot of people get to say that they were that. And I'm sitting across one that did. So I think it was really cool to kind of share your experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an expectation.
First of all, when did you even get there? Like, you weren't number one your whole...
Yeah, I was number one, and I was number 3. The first time I got on the map is 6th grade. I was ranked number 3 in the country as a 6th grader, so whatever that means. But still,
they had rankings back then.
Yeah,
I know they do now.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they did, man. If I told you the names, you would never heard of these guys. But like the guys are ranked number 1 and 2, and it was. Remember LaQuinton Ross?
Man, yeah.
Remember like these guys, and like the guy named Matt Carolino he played at Indiana. Like some of these dudes you wouldn't know, but like Stevie Taylor played at. These guys all like ranked super high in like middle school, whatever. Obviously, you grow and things change, but like, so then I went 6th grade. I'm ranked number 3. Then by the time I'm like 7th and 8th grade, I fell back to like 15, 16, 18. I don't know why. Maybe I think I changed teams or something that could affect it. And then you're not in the big tournaments anymore and stuff like that. But whatever. In high school, let's get to the real shit. 9th grade, I was ranked like top 20, I think. By my sophomore year, I was ranked like top 10. And then I went to the City of Palms and really started cutting up, and I started moving up. And by my junior year, I was like 4. I was like 3. I was like 3 or 4. And then midway through my junior year, they were like, yeah, we're going to make you number 1. And then I was the number 1 player pretty much my whole junior season and senior season. I was the number 1 player in the country. What it felt like, I don't know. I was always ranked number 1 in the state of Florida. So it was
kind of like you cared more about like the state.
Yeah, I was always the guy. So like it made no difference whether somebody on the internet put Brad ahead of me or Gilchrist ahead of me. I was always the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was better than them. So I still think I'm better than them.
Well, so Anthony Davis came along. He was like the late bloomer that came along with the growth spurt and everything like that, right?
Yeah, AD came out of nowhere. AD was like one of those like things that just happen. Every class has this dude that kind of just pops up.
Yeah.
That was kind of AD came out of nowhere. He was never on the scene ever. And then like his junior year had like a 10-inch growth spurt, some crazy shit like that. And then he was that guy. So it was pretty much me, AD, Brad, Gilchrist. That was our main group. So yeah, dealing with it, it's different now in NIL. You get even more attention. Now you're getting money and sponsors. So it would have been a lot more wild for me. But that was prime mixtape days as well. I had them following me my whole senior year. So was Ball's Life. There was a lot of cameras, which was not normal for that time. Now there's cameras everywhere.
A lot of pressure where everyone knows you're number 1. They're giving you your best. Every game's being filmed by Ball's Life, all that stuff. Like, did you feel like, man, like?
No, I loved it. I was so into it. I was like, man, I can't wait to put a movie up.
So
tonight.
you didn't feel like that.
Oh, okay. Every game, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do something crazy. You just go out there and you're like, yeah. The people, I used to get really turned off if I'd go play a game and there wasn't people there. I'd feel like disrespected. I was like, they didn't come to see me play. It's crazy. They don't understand what they're missing. Yeah, that's all I was thinking. Yeah. I was like, you couldn't tell me anything at 17 years old. I was like, how dare they not see me? I'm special. You know what I mean? Like that's the confidence I had. Like you couldn't tell me.
And if you like missed a shot, you had the overrated chance and all that good
stuff.
Yeah.
But then by like the end of the game, it's just like, bro, we beat everybody pretty bad, and obviously I was averaging like 30 something. You know what I mean? Like you just cooking everybody. But no, there's an expectation there, and you got to live up to it. So it's no different than when an NBA champion wins, and the next year you're getting everybody's best shot. This year will be harder for OKC to win than last year because every team you play, you're not sneaking up on nobody. Spurs are giving you their best game. They beat you. You get the best game because you're the champs. That's why we haven't seen nobody repeat in a long time. It's very hard to win with expectation, getting everyone's best. When I became the number 1 player, pretty much sophomore year on is when it changed. But even my freshman year, I started.
Like being top 20 in the country is a huge deal. But you were not obviously like not satisfied.
No, I wasn't. I was like, I gotta be the top guy. Or I wanted to be one of the dudes. Top 20 for me was like ugly. I was like, oh no, that's like fringe McDonald's. I don't want that.
That's how people look at it, by the way, right? Like you can admit to that. Like,
no, yeah.
You would think about it in terms of like, am I making the McDonald's
game?
Yeah,
20 is like you're cutting it. You know what I mean? Like, so I was just like, that was going into my sophomore year. By the end of my sophomore year, I was like top 10. So after that point, it was done. And then I just shot up by like beginning. It wasn't even. I think it was before I think I said middle of my junior season. I think it was before because it was my summer for AAU. My sophomore going into my junior year AAU, I started really putting people. I mean, I led Peach Jam in scoring. I started really like hooping, and that's when I went from like 9 to like 2, and it changed overnight.
It was like 3 things too. Right? You're the number 1 player. Your style of play was like very mixtape. Like everyone was loving this. Everyone wanted to watch you play. Some people,
I had the quick first steps. I was
some people are high level players, but like their mixtapes aren't that great.
Yeah, they're boring players. Yeah.
Okay, and then on top of it, your Doc Rivers and Doc's like at the peak of his like
that
coaching career, where he's
peak
like
Doc.
Yeah, he's coaching like
he's like walking
walking
on water at that point.
Yeah.
Everybody thought he was like the second coming of Pop. Everybody's like, he's black. He's better. He's Black Pop. He was. That was like peak Rivers right there. So it was a lot of fun. I would just say expectation. It's harder to perform, compete with expectation all the time. There were some AAU games where it'd be so packed that like you'd be careful landing on a dunk or late because people were under the basket because like there's no rooms in the sides. Like Disney didn't prepare for that. There's like 12 games going on. You get like 50 people each game. We got 800 people in this corner lot at the Milk House because I'm playing. It's every game though. So like you got to put up 30 every game. AAU is the only time it'd get overwhelming because like you're playing 3 games in a day. So like sometimes I didn't have it. One time I played and I didn't want to play, but my coach asked me to play because it would bring a lot of scouts there and he's trying to get some kids looked at. That's literally why I played a game one time. I ended up running into Shabazz Napier, who was charged to play me. Never heard of this kid. He had like 42. He's out here frying, talking to me. I'm like, who's this? But I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I had the flu and I just came back from, this is a true story. Had the flu and was coming back from LeBron James Skills Academy camp. We already played the Peach Jam. We already did all the...
No one. You were doing a favor for some teammates getting looked at.
I had no interest in playing this game, and I got dragged out there to go do it. And it was a valuable lesson. I remember my dad came to that game, and he's like, never, ever, ever play unless you go and play. I don't give a hurt, sick, this. No one cares once the ball goes up. If you're going to play, you got to play. He goes, that kid from Boston kicked your ass. That was Shabazz. After that, I never did that ever again. This was my junior year. I never let nobody do that to me ever again. That was a lesson. I was like, I'll never, if I'm going to play, I'm going to play. Otherwise, I'm sitting my ass out. So that's the only time it got overwhelming with the camps and the invites and all this. Then tournament, 3 games in a day. And then expectations every game. It's like, some games I'm not having 30-something guys. By the way, my AU team was loaded. I played like Brandon Knight, another guy. Like, I didn't have to have that. Some nights, like, James Bell would have 32. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't. So that's the only thing. But high school-wise, it was a movie.
And you're obviously, like, you love the game of basketball. That was pure hoops, not about all the other stuff, right? How do you compare that to the days of like when you were playing for the Clippers that year where you were one of the main guys after everyone else? It was like you and like what?
That's pressure. That's actual pressure. When you got to perform, when you're getting paid.
But like when you're in the NBA getting more of a green light versus your fun. What was more fun, getting that kind of green light on the Clippers or like your high school days where you're just like a rock star going through?
High school's more fun because there's no pressure. It's just purity. You're playing like your friends. After we'd like, go to the movies together. You know what I mean? Like
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, like these are like my boys. I've known Robert and all my friends I grew up playing with since I was 5 years old. Some of these guys are the first friends I made in Orlando. So the joy and purity of the game is unmatched in high school. I don't care who you are. In terms of rewarding the NBA, having like a big game in the NBA, the way you feel, the adrenaline hitting a big 3 or silencing a crowd or hitting a big shot on the road or even at home and having the crowd lift up, you can't emulate that. And I tell people all the time, people are like, what do you miss about playing? Do you ever miss that you retired early? You didn't even try to play? That's the biggest thing. People are like, why aren't you playing? Because I'm 33 and I'm still capable of being in the NBA. I didn't get a full guaranteed contract. I didn't even get a partial guaranteed. So everything that was on the table was for me to whether go to camp or go to overseas or go to G League or get it out the mud. That's what I was getting going into year 12. Prior to that, I always got a guaranteed deal. When I didn't get anything and then I got this other thing, the media thing really like going, I got one door like bursting open and they're like, yo, we'll do this. And the other door is like, for us to do this, you got to do this. And it's more time away from your kids. Guys, I just walked through the door. And then before you know it, the other door just closed. Because now,
but when you were still NBA shape, everything like that was a couple of years ago. You got, and I think we could talk about it now, right? You got an offer overseas that was from one of the main teams, which is like the closest thing to being in the NBA.
3 of them. I'm not gonna say that,
but that was probably I remember you were a little excited about that, like the possibility.
Because, you were talking to me about I was like, man, I can go play.
Yeah, because one day you're not going to be able to. Like, this is another year for me to just make money doing the thing I love.
Yeah, go hoop. And they're talking about $1 million. You know, they're talking about paying me. You know, they're going to pay me over $1 million to go play. You know what I mean? Like, especially when I first got out, I got offers from like Austin, it was like I got all of them, and they were multi-million-dollar contracts. But my kids weren't coming with me, man. So, like, I couldn't do it. I already missed too much. I missed too many birthdays. I missed my first time my son walked. I missed my first, I missed a Christmas. I missed Thanksgiving. I'm not doing it no more.
Yeah.
I only got this window for my kids to be kids either. So, it's like, my fiance talks about it all the time with me. She's like, I hope, one day I'm going to make sure as your partner that your kids understand how early you walked away from basketball. I walked away from the NBA guys at 31 years old. I walked away from basketball at 31. Forget the NBA. I could have played overseas. I could, like you said.
For sure. You guys doing it right now. Playing overseas.
I didn't even try. I didn't even go overseas. I never stepped foot in a G League. I never went. I never tried to do a 10-day again. I never went to camp with anybody. I didn't do anything, guys. I just walked away. Everyone's like, man, you're not in the NBA. Bro, I didn't try. And when I didn't get a guaranteed deal, when my agent was like, yo, no one's offering you a guaranteed contract. And then I got ESPN and NBC, all these other places like, yo, you want to do this? It just seemed like one door was closing, the other one's opening. God's telling me to go this way. And this way I get to be with my kids all the time. It just was a sacrifice I had to make. Do I miss it? Yeah, I miss it all the time. I'm into reality and what I could do right now and moving forward. And right now I could dominate this space after basketball. My dad's career after basketball is more influential than his playing days. My dad made an all-star game. My dad was McDonald's All-American. He was all those different things. Ain't nobody knows shit about that. Everyone knows Doc for being a coach. He made his legacy after basketball. That only was a valuable example that I had right in front of my eyes growing up. That, man, after basketball, you can be even bigger. You can be even better. You can be even more influential. So that's where I'm at now. And now I got this media space that people are clinging to, that we're doing, and it's just a start. So I like where I'm at. I miss it, but I like where I'm at. I'm very thankful that we have this. And that's why you guys need to like and subscribe. All right, well, that does it for today's episode. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, The Off Guard Podcast. You guys know the deal. Make sure you tap in. We'll be back next week, man, as this NBA gets going. All-Star Weekend is on the horizon. We're in full-fledged NBA mode right now. It's the best time of the year for me and for us. And we'll be here to cover it. So y'all be safe. Have a good weekend. Happy holidays.